Trump cabinet controversy. Will the latest picks for his administration tear the country even further apart? And shocking police violence. Plus, Harry Potter's making more magic at the movies. Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne's here with the cast of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Paula Ferris, Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, and Sunny Hostin. Now, let's get things started.
Today, it's a little-known fact that it's Mickey Mouse's birthday. Happy birthday, Mickey. You don't look a day over however old you are.
He's 88, I heard.
He's 88?
88, yeah.
He's
Wow,
good
he's a young
looking.
looking
Yeah,
mouse.
Good,
looking good, looking good.
And Mouse, you know what? Mouse don't crack.
The new promos are so different. Have you seen him? He's like dancing. It's very
got
hip,
some moves.
very hip Mickey. Yeah.
He's always been hip.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look.
He does
Yeah.
a dance
It's like,
class.
yeah.
I mean, you've not seen the parades, but Mickey parties.
That's
he's
true.
a party. Oh,
That's
he's a
true.
party animal,
He's a
honey.
party mouse.
Yes,
Sounds
he is.
like a mouse star.
Well, aside from Mickey, a lot of news was breaking this morning about Trump's administration picks. His attorney general is Jeff Sessions, an anti-immigration senator whose alleged racist statements cost him a federal judgeship. His national security advisor is General Michael Flynn, an outspoken anti-Islamist with close ties to Vladimir Putin, and his CIA director is Tea Party Congressman Mike Pompeo. Now, I just wonder if this sounds like a lot of picks to unite the country.
No. You know, I can only speak to the Attorney General slot because I worked in the Justice Department, and the Attorney General really is the chief law enforcement officer. He sets the tone. He or she sets the tone, and it goes all the way down. And so his agenda will set the tone for the Justice Department. I have friends in the civil
Jeff
rights...
Sessions.
Jeff Sessions. I have friends in the Civil Rights Division that are now looking for another job because they think that they're going to cut funding to civil rights. They think that they're going to be out of a job.
But he doesn't even believe in legal immigration, which leaves Melania out. But I mean, this guy's really...
I think what's important to note is that he could not get the votes. He could not get a Senate confirmation for a federal judgeship because an assistant United States attorney, a federal prosecutor, testified under oath that he called him a boy. He called him a boy. He also suggested that a white lawyer working for black clients was a race traitor. And so you look at that, and he also joked that the only issue he had with the KKK was their drug use. And he referred to civil rights groups as un-American organization trying to force civil rights down the throats of people who were trying to put problems behind them.
He also retweeted in July. He retweeted that something that said, "Not anymore, Jews, not anymore."
Well,
oh yeah.
After some of these announcements, David Duke tweeted, and he said, Bannon, Flynn, Sessions, great. Senate must demand that Sessions as AG stop the massive institutional race discrimination against whites.
That's pretty. That one has to be probably the most damning. You don't ever want David Duke to.
When you see he's on board, it doesn't matter if you've read it like on these other people.
He's been on board for all the whole election cycle, hasn't it?
Except for Reince Priebus, he didn't like that pick, which was
so
the chief
it's
of
a real
staff.
concern. I mean, if you think about it, the Senate is going to confirm him handily. You know that. And Ted Kennedy, when he was in the Senate, led the charge to prevent him, Sessions, from getting a federal judgeship. So I'm very concerned about that particular.
But these are all people who backed him. who went on to the convention and said how great he was. He doesn't have anybody.
Mike Pompeo, who was the new CIA director, actually supported Rubio. Yes, the nominee. And that's one thing that I think that's interesting, too. You have, reports that he's going to be meeting with Mitt Romney, and he already met with, the governor, Nikki Haley, and Ted Cruz, people that he did not get along with. And I'm hoping that these aren't just for a photo op, that this is actually, a sign of what's to come, that we can put our personal differences aside.
No. When you see these, I'm sorry, baby.
I'm just hoping for the best. I'm an optimist.
I'm an optimist, too. I'm an optimist, too. This does not make me optimistic. This pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because we have fought in this country. I listen to people talk about you trying to put stuff behind you. Listen.
That's scary.
The Native Americans who were here before everybody had trouble, okay? So we tried to fix that. We tried to make it better. We've tried to do stuff in this country to make it better. And if you're talking about it's a backward move to do civil rights, why are you even running? See, why don't you just stay home if that's how you feel? Because this is America. Black people are not going anywhere. They're not going to be slaves anymore, so take that out your head. Muslims who were born here as Americans are not going anywhere. And they're not going, we're not going anywhere. No, I don't know why you don't get this part.
But they're being harassed.
Yeah. We're all being harassed.
These people are being harassed. Somebody I know, a gay boy, a friend of mine, put on Facebook that he was on 10th Avenue in New York the other day, and somebody... I'm a Trump supporter. I mean, this is happening in New York City now.
Well, there's a resurgence.
And I had a driver last night, an Uber driver, who was a Pakistani guy, and he said that he's frightened. What kind of country is this now? Well, people better not sit back and just take it, because they have all the power in the White House, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives. The FBI is in their pocket. We have to be the loyal opposition in this country. That's what we're here for.
Well, to your point, but I will say there was also, and by the way, my optimism was just about the photo ops, that bringing in, going from the hit list, that's my optimism. But there, in fairness too, there was a guy that was wearing a Make America Great Again hat on the subway and was totally beat up. Down in D.C., there was a woman.
Yes, it's a response you're going to get.
I know, but I'm just saying it's on both sides, and it's so
important. Wait a second. It didn't start. Hold on a second. It did not start.
We're seeing incidents from anger on both sides, and that's why I think the onus is on our leaders to come out and say, please peacefully protest. That is your constitutional right. But no more violence.
Violence, I agree. Never okay.
Violence.
I was waiting with all these protests. I thought Trump would come out, and you know how we've all said it would help. Right now, the problem is his silence is letting his appointments speak for him.
That's right.
And those are scary.
Agreed.
And to your point, Paula, I disagree that we're seeing it on both sides. I think too many people are saying that. I think there's this false equivalency. You see protesting...
Maybe not 50-50, but we are seeing violence.
90-10. Yeah. I mean, I think you're seeing protests. I think you're seeing peaceful protests. 99% of the protests are peaceful.
Last weekend they attacked a news crew and police officers. That's not peaceful.
99% though. 99%. And that is never honest to goodness truth.
The question is, who started it? For a whole year, we've been
denying that. I'm not denying that.
We've been listening to all of this racist rhetoric, and now people are angry. I mean, they started it. If someone hits you in the face and you hit them back, who started that?
Well, I'm always going to defend myself.
Yes.
So don't punch me.
But I'm not saying I love you too.
But
listen,
your point is taken. Your point is taken. It's not really on both sides. People have been attacked, and that's why they're responding.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what's going on. But the fact that we are now looking at people who we know say, you don't matter. We don't think you're part of America.
Get out.
We're getting rid of you. Yeah. Get out. That is fueling.
Yeah.
Perhaps, and maybe that's the thing that people kept talking about. They wanted a revolution. Well, I got a bad feeling about this. So either Trump is going to say, listen, I am the president of everybody, and this is why I'm doing this, or he's going to stay silent, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm worried about the kids. Yeah. See, I'm worried about little kids.
Of course.
We'll be back with more. Okay. ahead, Joy.
I want to just correct.
Go ahead.
Well, I said that Flynn shared a tweet that read, "Not anymore, Jews, not anymore," but it was actually, I mean, I said that it was Jeff Sessions. It actually was Mike Flynn who said it. And he later apologized and claimed it was a mistake. So I'm just going to correct myself. So
But I think we should also say that Mike Flynn is now going to be his national security advisor.
Yes.
And Mike Flynn has indicated that he believes that Islam is not a faith, but a political movement. And so, and there's another thing about Mike Flynn. He also said that he served as President Barack Obama's director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, but he was fired after about 2 years because there was such a clash with his leadership style. So now he is back in this kind of significant position. And again, that's something that I think we all need to be concerned about.
Yeah, he's actually, I spoke with him at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland. He's a he's a registered Democrat. He said this is the first time that he's ever voted for a president in his life. I mean, I know that there were always conflicts of interest, but Trump was the first time he's ever voted for president, which I thought was a little interesting.
Voted for president or Republican?
No, for president. He said he's never voted for president before.
And bragging about it. People are bragging about not voting. It's kind of odd. And you know, I've said it on the show before. You didn't vote, you don't get to bitch.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You don't get to bitch. But you know, right before the show, some news broke that Trump is nearing a settlement in the Trump University fraud lawsuit. He would agree to pay between 20 and 25 million and admit no wrongdoing.
So why would he pay the money if there's no wrongdoing?
Because he wants to get it over with. He doesn't, you know, usually he would protract this, keep this going and going and going. But he has other stuff to be thinking about, apparently. And now the judge said, listen, I'm not giving you another postponement. You got to get this done. And so he said, okay, I'll just pay it and get everybody off my back.
So, you know, it's interesting because they advertised.
I don't know that he did that. That's what I'm assuming.
Well, they advertised that, you know, that you'd make money if you graduated Trump University. So this is how they're making money.
Yeah. Well, what's
Will it go to all
interesting?
of them, Sonny?
Well, that's the thing. More than 7,600 students laid out over $40 million to Trump University between 2005 and 2010. They spent $27 million on elite courses, and these aren't rich people that spent this money.
People with the last hope.
Yeah, and $13 million on 3-day seminars. So to your point, Whoopi, the trial was supposed to be November 28th, the day after Thanksgiving. The judge refused to allow them to postpone it until after the inauguration.
Because they've postponed it a couple of times. He's done the right.
And now he's going to settle for 20 to 25 million. I can't stress enough how different this is for Donald Trump.
Well, why do they
never
it's a complete 180 for him. But maybe he's looking, I have 4,000 jobs positions I have to fill. 1,100 of those, you know, need senatorial approval. So maybe it's just a little bit of overmarket.
He could go to the folks who are suing him and say, listen, I could fill some of these jobs with y'all and teach you just how to do it, you know.
On the job apprentice.
On the job training.
Wait a minute. Well, maybe that's the plan.
He didn't want it to be after the inauguration.
He did. His lawyers were trying to postpone this until
Why did he want this to go after the inauguration?
Because then he could say he didn't have the time because he was too busy being president. That's why, you know, the lawyers, so it would never happen. And the lawyers pushed and pushed and pushed, and the judge said, listen, I've given you everything you've asked for. I've given you postponements. I've done this for you. I'm not doing it anymore. He's got to either settle it or
So the
we're going
question
back
is,
to
does
court.
he have the $25 million? Because it's very questionable whether he actually has the money.
He better, because this is a class action lawsuit. And remember, these people have been waiting to get paid since 2012. This lawsuit has been on the books for a really long time, and I'm glad that this judge did the right thing and said, these people aren't going to wait anymore. Let them have their day in court.
But Sonny, is it unusual for something to be, and this is just, I'm not a lawyer, for something to be on the books that long? I mean, it seems like things get dragged out for a long time.
They do go on for a long time, and especially for Trump, it's not unusual because I did this report for 2020, for Nightline, and I really looked at a lot of the lawsuits that people have filed against him. I mean, he has 75, I think, pending right now, and it's so protracted when it comes to Donald Trump. He waits people out. He has a team of lawyers,
he has the money.
and he has that amount of money. And this is a real victory, I think, for these Trump University students.
Yeah, finally, because it would not have happened had he not gotten elected.
No
this would have
question.
gone on.
So is this the end of Trump University now?
One would hope. One would hope.
Were you hoping to get a degree? Yeah, I was going to go. Joy was going to get a degree.
We'll send you to Washington. You can spend time with
It's
him.
a way to make money now. I could sue him and make some money.
Yeah.
Too late, babe. We'll be right back.
Later. ladies tell all? Would they get real about the things that bug them about their fellow co-hosts?
So we're going to change the tone because we're actually sick of talking about... They're going to talk about Donald. Yeah. All right? So we're going to change the tone. So Reddit users were asked to post the stuff their co-workers do that drive them crazy. And the list included people helping themselves to somebody else's lunch in the fridge, too much cologne.
That's yours. That was you, yeah.
I'm with
You
you on
know,
that one.
co-workers who talk too much. What bugs you guys?
You have a good story.
I once sat by someone who would react to my phone calls. So I'd get off the phone with my mom or something, and this person would lean over and be like, oh my gosh, my mom drives me crazy too. Or like I'd have a conversation with my boyfriend and it would be really quick, but like I'd be trying to whisper.
The eavesdropper.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, okay, I'm sorry, but I overheard you. You really stuck it to him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? And I share a room with Paula, and she's a bit messy. That's also.
I admittedly, I'm like a hurricane.
She's like a little storm comes in.
Sarah gives me this much space of
You
the
have the whole
entire
room.
No, I have this much space on a countertop, okay? You have 80% of the room, and your stuff is everywhere. And if I have 3 things out, you say that I'm a mess.
Paula walks in and takes her shoes off as she enters, so there's like a path where she went.
But they love each other. They love each other.
You girls need to take it outside.
They love each other.
We had a choice of whether or not we could room together, and we said, of course we
What
want
about
to.
this one? She's hitting me constantly. Show them what you do.
When I laugh, I
She
hit.
hits me.
She hits.
So Joy constantly is doing it. It's my credit for it's like good one. My husband said, he goes, Sarah, you got to stop touching Joy. All you do the whole show is hit her. I was like, it's that obvious?
And also the other one is people who bring hard-boiled eggs to the office. Right?
No, I don't bring hard. Why'd you look at me? You do that in the meeting. You bring hard-boiled eggs.
You bring hard-boiled eggs into the meeting, too.
I will say.
It smells like a...
Okay, wait.
They
The
love
one
each
thing
other.
that bothers me is people that bring their leftover fish from the dinner the night before, and they warm it up in the microwave, and it stinks up the entire office.
I don't do that, but I did get some. I did get some flack today from Derek and Karen, out my makeup and hair gurus, because I'm the only one that doesn't eat meat on staff, one of the only ones, and I finally asked for veggie patties.
Stop whining. Say what you mean.
Well, I wanted veggie patties.
Yes. We had veggie
get
patties
breakfast.
because
Yes.
of you?
Yes, only her. And what
And
happened?
they were delicious.
But Derek came in.
And Derek came in and said
What day was it supposed to be?
it was supposed to be French toast and bacon day.
Yep. And what did we get?
It was French toast and veggie patty day, and it was really good.
Boo! Boo!
Turning. Derek was really upset. He goes, no one eats no one eats French toast without a crunchy side of bacon. She goes, now you do.
Sonny, how do
it
you
was
feel
good.
about ruining it for everybody?
Yeah, I know. I did. I ruined it for
I love you.
everyone, and I didn't
After she
realize.
attacks you, she goes, I love you, this one.
did. I
Watch
I
out
was
for
just
that.
going to be the veggie patty.
Don't mess with our bacon.
Be right back.
The View would like to thank Apple and Eve for providing our entire studio audience with a bottle of their delicious juice.
Actress Anna Kendrick, who also has a very good book coming out in the next little while. Yeah. Shares some of her sexual past in the issues of her new book, Scrappy Little Nobody, and recounts an episode where after months of sex, she finally had an orgasm with the guy she was seeing and then tried to give him a high five post-sex. She says he was a little freaked out. Is this something I can't even bring myself to ask, but you know what I'm asking.
Well, you're so grateful. It's like, you know, and it's like a high five. And thank you so much. I like you on Facebook also. I mean, it's like, thank you.
Sarah would just hit you right afterwards, right?
Killing me. These two bitches are killing me.
No, but I asked asked a male producer here at the show, whose name remains unspoken, but I said, what would you feel like if your wife turned...
Brian.
Yeah. I said, what would you feel like if your wife was like, way to go? He goes, I think it's awesome.
Has it ever happened, though, Brian? That's the question.
I can't recall, but I think those, I usually get like a meh at the end.
Is it hard to thank you when you're asleep? That's the question.
We abuse Brian. We abuse poor
Whatever
Brian.
happened to the vibrator? Then you don't have to high-five the vibrator, just turn it off.
Whoopi, the difference between a vibrator and a man is the vibrator's a sure thing.
That's why you keep it.
Thank you!
That's right.
And you don't have to say, don't hit me. That was a good one.
And see?
Somebody's going to be getting in trouble from their husband.
Then why would...
Because the vibrator couldn't give me a son.
No, but see, this is how I think, and maybe this is why I live by myself, and I'm happy about it. But if you're looking for the orgasm, make sure you get the vibrator to take care of it, and for everything else, you just be smiling.
There you go. And everybody's happy.
That's great, and
Everybody's happy.
Okay, wait. While on the topic.
Yeah?
Is it normal to occasionally, or all the time, not all the time, to fake it? You have to, right?
No.
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 Wait, she just said you smile.
No, there's one thing to say, okay, 5 minutes. That's one thing, but to fake it, no.
But wait, you're saying...
Well, do you
I'm
fake it a
saying
lot?
that the vibrator, if you're looking for an orgasm,
Yeah.
then you deal with the vibrator where you know it's a sure thing.
you don't have
and
to
then
fake
you
it.
don't have
No
to fake
But what
it.
if you have someone that just keeps going and going? You're like, you're never going to get this.
Well, let me tell you what to do.
Okay.
Let me tell you what to do. You'll get a little cough.
The stomach thing again?
You get a little cough and you're like, hold on, I'll be right back. Because all kinds of things come from when you're going and going and going. It's like,
I'm exhausted.
So many, and you're exhausted.
exhausted.
But I will say, Max, she wasn't talking about you. We're being rhetorical.
No, Max is great. Max is great.
We're being rhetorical about
Totally.
stuff, as women are on occasion.
It's a public service. It's a public
We're just
service.
trying to help people out.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Next, Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne and the cast of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them are casting a brand new spell on Harry Potter. Next week, we're kicking off Thanksgiving on The View, because we got sizzling hot topics.
I like the sound of that.
Plus, Garth Brooks brings the music, Kathy Griffin brings the laughs, and Martha Stewart is bringing the pie.
Wait. There's more.
Yeah, because we've got your best Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals.
Stop it. I want that.
And an Academy Award-winning Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton. Woo! It's all next week on The View on ABC.
The beloved Harry Potter universe is expanding with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. One of the most enhanced Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne, Katherine, Waterston, and Alison, Sudol, and Dan Folger. Woo!
You were so amazing. You were my favorite.
You're just a lovely person.
Eddie. So it turns out that Eddie Redmayne also likes The View, so we're thrilled to have him here. But the last time I think I saw you, we were on a red carpet at the Oscars a bit ago. Yeah, that's my Batman suit that I'm wearing. I kind of look like Batman, it's a bit like chesty thing. Batman.
They're intense things, those red carpets, aren't they?
They are.
I feel like once you arrive at the ceremony, you feel like you've sort of won an award in
Yes,
itself. It's
because
quite an
people are just like, Eddie, 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 whoopee, Eddie, 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 Eddie.
definitely not the case.
Now, can you guys guys explain to me, first of all, this isn't, the Fantastic Beasts is not a prequel or a sequel to the Harry Potter movies. What does that leave you? What's left?
So Fantastic Beasts is set in that world of J.K. Rowling that we all love, with all of that warmth and magic and heart, but taken back to the roaring 20s of New York, the Prohibition age, the Jazz age, and I play a self-proclaimed magizoologist who arrives in New York with a bag full of a case full of creatures, and some of them escape, but I bump into this merry band, and we become a kind of quartet taking on the world, really.
A group of sorts. Now, Katherine, you play a witch in the film.
Yeah.
And you felt weird at first playing with the magic wand. How did you adjust that? Because that is a little...
There was a real learning curve there. We were in pre-production and we had costume fittings and meetings with the director and everything, and hair and makeup, and we're working all that out. And one day on the schedule I saw, 1 p.m. wand school. And so I was led down a hallway by some assistant into a room with a table, a glass, and a wand. And then this woman came into the room, and she's very sweet, but she said, all right, pick up the wand and imagine, point it at that glass and try to send it across the table. And I just had I broke out in hives, sweating all over, and really, really embarrassed and terrified even just to lift up the wand. And, I went to acting school. I'd done stage combat. I had to shoot a dog on Boardwalk Empire. I've used weapons before and everything, but there was something about the fact that I knew that there was simply no wand that could actually move a cup across the table. I was
if
really
you were
nervous
good,
to try to do it.
could have.
I know, but that's really how I felt. I felt so inadequate.
Yeah, I had major wand envy.
Right, because you're not magical.
You're right, I'm a muggle, I'm a nomad.
All right.
Some of the spells we did were like to calm us or to pep us up, and so one of them was like, just to feel like, yes, we are doing a Harry Potter movie, we would do Sir Lawrence Alleviates. That would alleviate any fears we had.
Oh, wait, Dan, what was the one? There was one if we were having, sometimes after lunch, you've been working all morning, and then you'd have lunch and, you'd eat carbs and then feel a bit lazy in the afternoon, and a bit of a shoddy actor, and so we'd get Dan to do his...
Well, there was one where we had to calm down, which was a Leonardo DiCaprio. And then the one
you're a better actor.
I love it.
And then the one for, pepping up was Alfonso Cappuccino.
Alison, were you freaked out when you met J.K.?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that I've been a Harry Potter fan since I was a young adult, and read all of the books and saw all of the movies, and I like to write stories as well. So you're basically looking at the queen, you know what I mean? And we knew that she was going to come on set, and I thought I was prepared, but then literally just being in her presence, and she hugged me, and I just didn't know what to do. And I just sort of smiled, and there was a part of me that was saying, say something brilliant, say something amazing. You don't know if she's ever coming back, just say something smart. And I was just like...
That never works. Eddie, you're known for how much preparation you do for your roles, and in this one you worked with an animal handler to help you deal physically with the magical beasts.
Yeah, I met these extraordinary animal handlers.
Yeah.
And totally weird, idiosyncratic things. I met this woman who looks after rhinos, and she showed me this thing that if you rub a rhino just beneath their knee on the back hind, for about 10 minutes, they will just gently it's a kind of erogenous zone, and they just gently sit down. And I thought it was so brilliant, but I couldn't work out how to bring it into the movie. Halfway through the movie.
Or how to bring that into life at all, Eddie. I don't know how that's going to work.
Just the idea of walking up to a rhino and go, may I? Hey. You just never know. And Katherine, the last time I saw this young lady, she was probably...
A little younger.
A little younger. She came to my house for Thanksgiving with her family. And her dad, by the way, is Sam Waterston. Oh. And so... Did he give you... was he helpful into your becoming an actor?
I think there's an assumption that when you're the child of an actor, you have some kind of special in, but I couldn't even get hired on Law & Order. It just shows you it doesn't work like that. I mean, I tried multiple times.
No, it always ends in a good place. And Dan, this is one of my favorites. You were in the 25th annual Putnam Spelling Bee.
Yeah.
And you won a Tony. So those years of struggle paid off. But I heard you do a mean Al Pacino impression. What would Al say if he visited the Harry Potter universe?
Probably something like, oh, slice of hair. I like the wands. Stairs to keep moving back and forth. I don't want to fall off. And then the pictures are talking to me. Fun.
I don't think people know. I think, Alison, people know your face, but they don't know also that you're an indie musician. A lot of folks know you by your stage name, A Fine Frenzy. Your last album came out in 2012. What you got going on now?
Because I don't do well with being bored on my days off on the movie, I went down to Bristol and made a record.
Nice. When are we getting it?
I'm not quite sure. I have to make some videos and take some pictures and things like that, but soon.
Will you come back? Will you come back and bring it to us?
I would love
Will you all come back when you have something more to talk or just to hang out?
We'd love that.
We thank everybody, Eddie, Katherine, Alison, Dan, fantastic beasts, and where to find them. Opens today, and everyone in our audience, you ready for this? You're all going home with 2 tickets to see it in IMAX, courtesy of our friends at IMAX as well as Warner Brothers. Wait, stop, wait a minute, hold up. There's more. Gift bag full of goodies from the film coming to you all today. That's what it looks like. We'll be right back.
It's Plus. It's a one-stop holiday shopping when you view your deal. We partnered with vendors for up to 76% off awesome gifts for everyone on your list.
Baby, How to Get Away with Murder fans lost their minds last night because after waiting all season long, they finally found out who was under that damn sheet. And if you haven't seen it yet, this is a spoiler alert.
Close your eyes.
Take a look at the clip.
The DA's office. Take a look.
Here to tell us how he's dealing with death. Please welcome Alfred Enoch.
Thank you, everyone.
That was dramatic.
Oh, pretty drastic, eh?
Why would they do that to this face?
I know. Very
That's
much
how I
live
felt.
right here.
Yes.
I bounced back.
Yes, you have.
Thankfully.
So, were you aware it was coming, or did you just get the script and that's how you found out?
No, goodness, that would have been mean. Can you imagine? I turn up at the table read and I get to the end and all of a sudden my face falls. No, Pete was very nice. Pete Nowalk's our showrunner, and he said that he would tell us as soon as he knew. So I found out about 2 months before we actually, it arrived in script.
Right.
So I could prepare myself.
Were you bummed out when you found out that it was going to be you under the sheet?
Yeah, but of course, it's such a fun job. And it was a bit of a strange kind of interaction because we were all hypothesizing who it would be. And I got a call to go in and see Pete. His assistant said, "Could you come and visit?" And I thought,
Principal's office.
Yeah. I thought, goodness, either what have I done, or this is the end of that. And he was very nice. We were chatting, but as we were talking, I was just looking at him, thinking, come on, Pete, just rip off the band. I was feeling bad for him. Right? I was like, he's going to have to, it was like a breakup. I was like, you're going to have to get to it sometime. And he did, and, you know, it's sad, but I think it's good for the show. So hopefully it goes from strength to strength.
It's so shocking, though, because you're a fan favorite.
Oh, thank you.
What was it like shooting that scene?
Oh, people, I mean, the worst thing about it was getting into prosthetics. It took so long. So I kind of roll up to set, and the crew and the rest of the cast, everyone's saying, goodness, that's horrendous. It's really awful to see you like that.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, thank you. And I thought, well, more horrendous is the fact that it took me 4 hours to get like this, and it's going to take me an hour and a half once we wrap.
And I don't even have a line. I just lay there.
Holding my breath, thinking like, oh, we're going to do it again, naked in this sort of strange basement.
You were naked?
I mean, not entirely, but I mean...
And it was... I didn't see that part.
You know what? I believe that she's got another show for you. I believe another show is coming.
Oh, really?
For you. Yeah.
You know that?
I feel you're too good to let go.
That is Oda Mae Brown over there, so if she sees something.
So, Alfred, thank you. And, you know, How to Get Away with Murder returns January 19th on ABC. I believe you're coming. You're too good to lose.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great day and take a little time to enjoy it.
You can get sick in as quick as 30 minutes, but it can also take up to 6 weeks.